Shots were shot into this car. What we know is this. We know that the suspects stalked out a certain vehicle. This was not a random event. They watched the vehicle. They believed that there was another individual that we believe to be the actual target in the car. At some point, that person was in the vehicle and then exited the vehicle to ride with someone else. The suspects followed the vehicle down US Highway 190 West. When they got to the gas station, the driver of the victim vehicle exited the vehicle to go inside. When that person went inside, the other car pulled up next to it, next up to that car, and began shooting. Between 70 to 80 shots were shot into this.
Shalom, shalom. We're back with another lesson. So before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rechak Wadash, to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. I'd like to give double honor. Shalom to the 144,000, to the 1/3, to the hopeful elect. It's your brother Isaiah, back with another lesson. I'm going to call More Evils in these perilous times. And as you've seen in the video, you see Jake shooters get out the car, shoot the car up, shot it between 70 and 80 times at a gas station, killing someone, but not the person that they wanted. Which should show you that in these times, in the last days, that we know these kind of evils was gonna be coming, to where people done lost all kind of love for each other, where death will become something that just part of life, like more so part of life, as in meaning you can be here today and a few seconds later you're gone due to someone's misjudgment of a situation, or just because someone's angry at someone else and they want to take it out on you. This is what Matthew 24:12 was talking about. Because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, which we know you go into that word cold, the Greek word for psychos. And this was a situation, if they were sitting there watching the car, they could have easily just looked in there and seen that the person that they was after wasn't even in the car. But nope, they didn't do that. As soon as the other person walked away from the car, got far enough away, they pulled around with the shooting. But like I said, in these perilous times, with evil running rampant, you gotta be circumspect. You gotta be watching your surroundings, because it's situations like these that a lot more people are gonna find themselves in, and a lot more people are gonna be put to death, because we just living in a time that just totally wide open, totally wild, and just crazily dangerous. Which we're gonna go ahead and get into the scriptures. This 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. Know this also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. And we are living in those times, man, to where things like this, it's just going to be something that just happened, to where we know it's going to get even worse than what we've seen in this video, where people are going to use the sword to take each other out, where it's going to be a killed or be killed kind of situation. And this here is just the beginning of those sorrows, of evils that's going to be unleashed through the will of Yahweh Bashim Hawashai, through these spirits created for vengeance. Now, before we go, we're going to get this word perilous, because we definitely living in some perilous times. 2 Timothy 3, verse 1, all right? And it's only going to get worse from here on out. There's no stopping this. That's what That's what's about to happen, not only to America, but to the world as a whole. All right? The word perilous, Strong's G 5467. Kapalias. Let's see.
Strong's G 5467. Chalipas. Chalipas.
Chalipas, Salaki. The outline of biblical usage. Hard to do, to take, to approach. Hard to bear, troublesome, dangerous. A harsh, fierce, savage. And the Strong's definition, Chalipas, perhaps from Strong's G 5465, through the idea of reducing the strength, difficulty, i.e. dangerous, or by implication furious or fierce, perilous. But the two definitions I want to pull out of that is troublesome and dangerous. Because this right here was a very dangerous situation. Because the guy who was driving the car actually could have still been in the car when they decided wanted to shoot the thing up. These are the times you're living in to where you have to be focused. You have to be having your head on the swivel on what's going on. Because just one little lapse of judgment where you might be sitting in your car, want to send a quick text message, could ultimately lead you to your death because you're not paying attention of your surroundings. You're not aware of who's by you, who's looking at you. And as you've seen, there were plenty of other cars out there. So with them shooting 60 to 70 rounds, they could have easily hit someone else. But the thing about it is, this is only the beginning. This is only the start of those evils that Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai is going to bring upon this place. These are the sorrows they talked about in 2nd Ezra 15 and 16. This is the how do the scriptures say this? This is the great trouble that is Jacob's trouble. These are the beginning woes of it, to where you're seeing people get put down daily by the sword. You're seeing people get put down even for less than someone hiring a hit on them. I mean, I just seen one with an article this morning where this girl shot and killed her boyfriend just because he said she was only his girlfriend. These are the times that the scripture we just brought out in 2 Timothy 3 and 2, those perilous times, those dangerous and troublesome times are here. We're now living in them. And it's only going to ramp up. And only more evils are going to be brought about upon this earth. Only more wickedness will be done because we're living in those evil, perilous times. And why we're going to go here. Ezekiel 7, verses 5 and 6. Thus says Yahweh power, and evil, and only evil, behold, is come. And we're going to continue to see more and more evils like this. Why? Because Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai is turning the heat up on Jacob's trouble. To where you already can't go through a news article without seeing someone get put to death in some kind of way. It's going to get to the point to where that death is going to be knocking at your doorstep every day. Loved ones, friends, co-workers, children, however you want to see it. We're going to see that evil ramp up. Why? Because we're in those last moments of the last days. We're in those perilous times. And end is come. The end is come. It watcheth for thee. Behold, it is come. And we're at the end of this thing, man, to where Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai is going to let those spirits created for vengeance just have their way. And they're going to do the job that Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai has appointed them to do, thus making an already bad situation even worse, thus ramping up the coldness of people's hearts to a whole new level. This is why in 2nd Ezra 15, it gave that warning. The second Ezra 15 and 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Why is it saying that? Because those evils has come. The evil of Jacob's trouble does not only come upon the children of Israel, but to the whole world. That the Lord is not about to no longer take all the evils that are done upon this world, and He's going to start issuing out judgment. Whether it's through the sword, as we've seen this woman get put down by, through famine, through pestilence and plague, all those things are up in the air because we're living in those times where evils are going to be fully unleashed by Yahweh Bashim Shai. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another with sword in their hand. Yeah, that sword or that destruction is coming closer and closer, man, because we're living in no perilous time. That's why you got to understand, in the midst of it, you got to be aware of what's going on around you, because you don't want to be caught up in a situation like this. Now, we know Yahweh Bashim Avashai is going to make sure his elect get out of any bad situation like this, okay? But you can at least help by understanding that the times you are in are very evil. That there are people out there who mentally isn't sitting right. And that this situation could happen to anyone. Anyone can be caught up in this situation. So it's a time to where you got to understand who I'm riding with, who do I know, what kind of enemies do they have, so you don't get caught up in this situation. Because like I said, we are in those perilous times that the scripture just warned us about. Matter of fact, let's go here. This is Ephesians 5, verse 15 to 16. See that ye walk circumspectly. And we know that word circumspectly means be on the lookout on a 365-degree tip, meaning all around. Be vigilant in where you're going and who you with. Because this situation can end up being anyone. Like I said, not only just you, but a loved one, a parent, a friend, a co-worker. This can happen to anyone, especially in these perilous times. See that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Yeah, only a fool will believe in a time of great evils being unleashed that he don't have to worry about what's going on around him. You got to be a wise man and think, okay, that to happen, I really need to keep my head on the swivel. I need to stay focused to my surroundings because I don't want to get caught up in that. Verse 16, redeeming the time because the days are evil. And these are very evil times, man. The fact that someone even set somebody up to even get gunned down like that. Now think about it. Let's say that person was still in the car. The girl who got killed, more than likely still would have been in there too and still would have received the same fate. If that was the will of Yahweh Bashim outside. But I'm just saying, if you're just looking at it from someone who might not know that it was the will of Yahweh Bashim outside, she got put to death. If the other person was still in the car, let's say they sitting in there talking and that car swung around, guess what? They both still share that same fate, man. That's why you got to understand, you got to be circumspect. You got to be on the ball. Make sure you know what's going on around you at all times, because this fate can be for anyone. Now, I want to get that in another translation. Let's try in the AMP. This this is Ephesians 5, 15 and 16. Therefore, see that you walk carefully, living life with honor, purpose, courage, shunning those who tolerate and enable evil. Not as the unwise, but as the wise, sensible, intelligent, discerning person. Making the very most of your time on earth, recognizing it take That's a little too much. Let's try the GNT. It was just doing too much. Ephesians 5:16 in the GNT. So be careful how you live. Don't live like ignorant people, but like wise people. Make good use of every opportunity you have because these are evil days. Yeah. I'm just going on to the NLT. Maybe they got a better one though. All right. Living by the spiritual powers. Ephesians 5:15 and 16. So be careful how you live. Don't live like fools, but like those who are wise. Same thing. I guess we'll just stick with the normal version, which was a better translation. But you still got to be wise, man, because you're living in evil time, and only death and destruction will continuously to get worse and worse. So if you're not being aware of your surroundings, being aware of the people you're even with and their problem, man, it's gonna be a bad day for you. And we're gonna end it out here in 2nd Ezra 14 and 16. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. And we're about to see even more evils, even greater evils than what we just seen, man. Or the things we read about. Like I said, once Yahweh B'Shem outside fully let those spirit created for vengeance do their job, evils and even greater evils will be seen upon this earth that haven't been seen in centuries. People eating each other, probably seeing people just openly touching dead bodies in the wrong way, children, women getting taken, men getting taken. Like a lot of brothers say, watch that movie, The Book of Eli. Watch the things that are going on there, and that's gonna be a bit of what's gonna go on in Jacob's trouble, plus more, because Yahweh B'Shem Shai is fully gonna let those spirits created for vengeance have their way, and they're gonna do their thing to the best of their ability. But I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Shai. Shalom.